Hello and welcome to day 9 of AP English. I looked at your response and I responded a little bit on your document itself from yesterday. It looks great. You are on point. Your thesis sentence is strong because it does include consideration of the opposing side. And so nice job. You can compare it with her examples and you'll see some similarities in it. So let's move on. I wanted to say, you know all about an introduction. So this part of the instruction is just going to be quite a bit of review for you. I did want to point out that she does talk about in the hook, making sure you avoid cliches, and some quotations would be cliches. Let's see, actually it was right in here. She also, I'm not going to repeat everything she says, but I do want to say with the cliches, that would include some direct quotes, but notice she says, if you use a direct quote, it needs to be sophisticated. And I do feel like your direct quotations, I have a feeling you probably went through this thought process too. As you searched for quotes for some of your pieces, you probably saw some quotes and discarded them sort of mentally because you saw that, oh, I've heard that a million times before. I know that happens to me if I'm writing an article or something or a paper and I'm looking for quotes for a hook, same thing. It's like, yeah, you can't just pick something. You can't Google search and pick the first quote that you see because a lot of them are completely overused, but yours have been sophisticated. So I think if you decide to do that, if you decide to go for a quote, maybe you'll be able to go for a statistic, whatever it is. The key word here for you as you write this paper or this essay for this exam is sophisticated. Make sure that it is sophisticated. So you just want it to really be rich. And I do feel that you have accomplished that already in many of your assignments. And I would say I always want to put in there, not just for this one AP exam, but ongoing, obviously, in your writing. Continue to just kind of think of this sophistication that ought to be there in your writing at your level. Okay? So moving on in this piece, this video, it's just going to be a really good breakdown of the parts of an introduction. And then you're going to have this AP exam practice. So go back in as you do this introductory paragraph for this. And hang on one second. So I'm sorry, I had to pause because I had to make sure I gathered my thoughts here. But basically, go back in and don't feel like you can't change your position based on some her response, or keep your position or rework and hone your position. Maybe you see some other sentiments in what she gives as examples that could inform you. And so do all of that and then do this introductory paragraph. I feel like you have you've already done some very good introductory paragraphs. Like I said, I suppose this sounds repetitive because I said that, then I paused and watched the whole rest of the video, and here I am talking again and it's all connected. So sorry for my repetitive nature there. I am curious, this will be teacher feedback, okay? Truth be known, I probably will never be an English teacher again, but I'm just curious, I always like to grow and learn. And so tell me, what does she say that helps you understand introductory paragraphs better? Is there something that it's like, oh, because in my mind, as I read it or as I listen to it, it sounds like, oh yeah, well, we've been talking about this. But from a student's perspective, what does she say that would be something that I could say to the class to help them even better understand how to write an effective introductory paragraph? So that's just a little, you're going to help me as the teacher. Let's just work together to grow through the rest of this year. Have a wonderful break. You've worked so hard. Whenever you get this done is fine. There is an extra credit assignment that you might love the content of on Google Classroom, an excellent sermon, and you might just enjoy listening to it, possibly working through that. That's just another thing that you could be doing. I will, Lord willing, spend this break really updating grades. Basically, you're getting 95s and above on all of this content. I really feel like you are meeting the expectations, and that is just, I'm so proud of you, and that's the truth of it. I really see little room for improvement on the different pieces here. So again, just keep self-evaluating. You're doing a good job in identifying some ways that you can improve as well. I'm sorry, I know that this sounds like a big mess, but I have another meeting I have to go to, so I'm just going to wrap this up like it is, and thank you for your grace in that. I'm sorry that it sounds rushed and whatever else it might sound like today, but if you can, I guess your main tasks are, evaluate your homework from yesterday, do this introductory paragraph, and see if you can continue to sort of work in that sophistication. And that being said, one way that you can do that specifically, I will say, is just keep up in that language. Just keep replacing your wording to richer, more connotative words, and use the thesaurus. I think you're going to be having that available to you as you take this essay. I'm not positive about that. I'm still looking into all that, but it seems like, except for the time constraints, you could go in and really just grab better language. So anyway, and then also your third task is, tell me, what could I do as a teacher? What did she do that I could do that would better communicate how to write a strong introductory paragraph? Have a wonderful break. I'm praying for you. Thank you for your kind attention. Goodbye.